Hey guys, John V from PhoneArena. I'm doing my first look between the LG G4 and the Sony Xperia Z3. So let's just jump in and talk about their designs here. Two very different looking and feeling handsets. So between them, the Sony Xperia Z3 has the most underrated design out there. That's because, you know, every handset out there is using glass and metal combination. And this is what you get here with the Z3, of course. But the beauty about it is that it's a solid feeling handset. It's uniformly thin, flush surfaces, both front and back. And on top of that, it is water resistant. You could submerge underwater and you're not going to have any issues with that. With the G4, on the other hand, it has more of a, a plasticky feel with its finish. It's still kind of, a small change from before. It's a little bit more rectangular, boxy around the corners. It still has it has a curve to it, which makes it feel pretty good in the hand. It's ergonomic, but it doesn't have that same premium feel as the Z3. The diamond pattern's nice, which is great, and you have a different type of material you could use, a leather stitch pattern, which of course gives it more of a sophisticated look, and we appreciate that and prefer that one over this plastic one. But at the end of the day, the Sony Xperia Z3 is still a beautiful looking handset. Now they both have micro SD card slots, so you could increase their storage capacities, which is great. The LG G4 though has a removable battery, so you can take out and replace. You don't get that with the Z3, unfortunately. You do get dual front firing speakers, which is nice. A dedicated shutter key here to snap photos, or have a physical response with it. And like I said, it is water resistant. Now, if we take a look at their displays, you have a 5.5-inch Quad HD IPS quantum display in the LG G4, while the Sony Xperia Z3 has a slightly smaller 5.2-inch 1080p display. Now, 1080p versus Quad HD, we know has the higher pixel density count, but when you're looking at it from normal distance, they're both pretty sharp and clear, and they have pretty much similar qualities, that we do notice a little bit more vibrancy and saturated colors with the Z3's display. But if you look at the two, they're very pleasant. The Quantum IPS display is said to offer superior color reproduction, a stronger brightness output, and just overall a better looking display. But that's LG's call. We're going to see how it fares at the end, of course, running our benchmark test. Flip around, we have their cameras. You have a 20 megapixel camera in the Xperia Z3 with an f2.0 aperture lens, while the LG G4 has a 60 megapixel camera but an f1.8 aperture lens. And so you kind of get the hint that when it comes to low light photography, the G4 might prove to be better than the Xperia Z3. But at the same time, we do like the new manual mode in the LG G4's camera interface. You have access to things like shutter speed. You have also ISO and white balance, much more with full manual control, which is great. You don't quite get all that with the Sony Xperia Z3. Looking at their respective customized interfaces, now we have more of a dynamic look going on with the Xperia Z3's interface, whereas with the LG User Experience 4.0, it's a little bit more subdued, we'd say, a little bit flatter. But in terms of flat, we're talking about just the physical look. It's still nice just because it utilizes material design heavily, so you have some bright, vivid colors. But for power users, they're probably going to appeal more to the LG G4, just because you have things like an enhanced multitasking experience. But at the end of the day, they're both Android. You have the full arsenal of Google services, which is great. And they're both pretty fast, despite the fact that the Sony Xperia Z3 is using an older chipset, Qualcomm Snapdragon 801 processor versus the Snapdragon 808 chip in the G4. Both are pretty smooth with the responses, and we know that gaming should be good on both, but we'll see how it fares on the G4 in the end. So that's a quick first look between these two handsets, guys. If you want to learn more about them, you can check out our website, PhoneArena.com. John V. Thanks for watching.